All right, so we are live. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Extraordinary Show. I am your host, a conscious frequency coach, Shalu Popli, and a mindset trainer. Today, I'm here with a very special guest. He's an author, he is a self realization speaker, and also the co founder of the Bragging Club. So, we are going to talk a lot about his book, The Bragging Club, and his extraordinary story. Okay, so let's get ready to learn from his extraordinary story. Yeah, welcome, Aman. Welcome to the Extraordinary Show.
Thank you, Shaluji. Namaste. I hope you're doing well.
Yes,
And
all
uh,
well.
and
Thank
and
you.
uh, happy Diwali wishes, though it's a belated one to all your audience. May God bless them with great health and then with wealth.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And it's our honor to have you here.
It's
Yes.
my
Yeah.
it's I resonate the same thing. Yeah, thank you for
Thank
considering me
you.
worth enough.
Thank you so much. So I have introduced you. Would you like to introduce yourself in your own words?
See again, I'm when it comes to introduction, right? I'm just another ordinary parent. Okay, I'm just an ordinary parent, an Indian. Okay, and the way parents think that their children are the greatest assets. I say that I have left my identity behind, and
Mm.
now I've taken the identity of a parent, and so my entire effort goes towards my children
Mm.
and the children in the community. Because if entire community is happy, that resonates back to our home as well. So that's what I trust, saying that community is equally important as family. So as you introduced me, I'm Aman Kumar. Okay, I professionally for a paycheck to run my family. I am a corporate professional as well, but at the same time, I've written a book called Metaphors for My Success. By God's grace, I would say maybe I have not put my name on that, because of which the book has turned lighter, and it has sold 1,407 copies
Wow.
across India. And we have not done any publicity. It is not on social media. It is not on Amazon, not on Flipkart, nowhere. But few people liked it genuinely. It traveled across India, and that triggered that we should do something else. Because a child from Delhi, when the
Okay.
parent called, that touched my heart, saying that did the book go to this extent? We'll
Mm-hmm.
talk more about it. And then my children, they came to me saying that something resonated in our heart, and should we do something for that? And that's where the bragging club was born.
Okay. So Aman Kumar Annam, right?
Yeah.
It's a beautiful name. Why did you use Mr. Someone as the author of the book?
See again, when I say the book, right? When I actually wrote the book, I was in. I've been writing stories for past 20 years. My first story was in my graduation second year.
Okay.
Okay, my first story. That too, when I was invited as a guest in my own college in the
Hmm.
second year.
Wow.
Because I was, by God's grace, I got some top marks in the university, which none of them got it in the subject. And they
Hmm.
said, come speak to your juniors.
Hmm.
That's where I started. And then I felt that I'm able to communicate through stories. And whenever I was kind of able to draw some analogies and all that, I used to scribble in my Facebook. There are Facebook notes. I used to scribble my notes, and once my wife saw, saying that, "Where did you pick these words from?" I said, "I've written it." She
Hmm.
said, "Are you serious? Have you written all this?" I said, "Yes, I've written it." And then she said, "These words are powerful because I was able to feel them. I thought you might have taken it from some online Google and all that and tried copying it for your memory." I
Hmm.
said, "No." Then she started encouraging me, write more. And it was in 2020. You know, right? 2020
Hmm.
is the most memorable year for this generation, that it is pandemic time. I
Yes.
was in Sweden. I was COVID positive. My entire family, my wife, my kids, my parents, mother, father, brother, and everyone were in India. In
Hmm.
India, my family, in sense, my immediate family, my wife and my two kids got their visa approved
Hmm.
on March 15th, 2020. And everyone
Okay.
knows on March 21st what happened.
Yeah.
They got their tickets booked. They were about to travel to Sweden on March 25th, I think.
Okay.
March 25th. Suddenly, 21st to 22nd, the lockdown starts. And I
Hmm.
was like, what should I do now?
Hmm.
And that was a period of realization that I was COVID positive in Sweden. My friends and everyone kind of colleagues took care of us. And Sweden was open. Actually, it was a herd immunity concept over there, saying that let's pick up virus, let's win on it, and then we'll survive.
Okay.
That also helped.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't believe, Shaluji, every evening during that lockdown period, I would say offices were closed, the streets were open, and very close to my place, the apartment where I used to stay, there was a graveyard, big one, very big. I would say it is huge graveyard, not an
Mm-hmm.
ordinary one, because there are corpses since 1710.
Okay.
That old. Imagine.
Okay.
To win on my fear, I would
Hmm.
go and sit in the graveyard in the evenings.
Okay.
Just in case if something happens to me, I should not be worried about it. And that kind of triggered a self-realization saying that, what if I'm not alive?
Hmm.
Who will tell all these stories to my children? And that's when I just thought, no, I should convert my stories into a book format.
Hmm.
And I've written somewhere around 120 plus stories, 120. And based on my just surrounding things, what can a milk teach? What can a water bottle teach? What can a chair teach? What does a raindrop teach us? And all that, because we are surrounded by them.
Yeah.
Anytime we are surrounded by them. So I thought, yeah, this is the time that I should kind of convert that into stories.
Hmm.
And in a process, what I did is I thought if I put 120 stories in one book, it might be too much. Looking at
Yeah.
that scale of the book, people might just turn it away. Then I
Hmm.
thought, let me pick up the 30 core stories which will resonate with children,
Okay.
my children specifically. I
Hmm.
was not targeting anyone because
Hmm.
I thought that there's some great writers across the world. What will my content do? There might be some
Hmm.
better than me.
Hmm.
So what I did is I kind of picked out 30 stories, not even 30, I would say. It was just 29 stories.
Okay.
29, because those were resonating well with the theme.
Hmm.
And then when I created that book, the book's name actually was Matra Mitra Shambhu.
Okay.
Matra
Sanskrit
is
name, is it?
Sanskrit name.
Okay.
Matra is mother,
Hmm.
Mitra is friend, Shambhu
Hmm.
is father.
Hmm.
So the concept is that if mother and father pick a right friend for a child,
Hmm.
the child will be child's raising will be wonderfully done, because good friends will
Okay.
definitely inculcate good habits into us.
Hmm.
But when I kind of gave that book, 29 stories, to a vice chancellor,
Hmm.
wonderful person, I would say. I really thank that person and the kind of golden hand he has. If at all his blessings are there, it resonates literally. Things work out smoothly.
Hmm.
I gave it to him saying that, Professor Ji, here is a book I've written. Can you please proofread it? And he's a very prominent English coach in my hometown, very
Hmm.
popular. There are thousands of students across the globe who are
Okay.
students of that guru.
Hmm.
He read, I think he took for a few days, I think he took a few days of time, and then he tried proofreading the book, and he said he made some small corrections. He said the book is wonderfully done,
Hmm.
but it was a spiral binding one, not a proper book format. No,
The first draft.
first draft, very
Hmm.
raw spiral binding wala. I
Okay.
took it to him and he asked me saying that you gave me two copies.
Hmm.
Why two copies? I said, I just needed your blessings on them. Then he
Hmm.
said, one copy is enough for proofreading. I said, ये मेरे दो बच्चों के लिए. So he said, does it mean that you're not going to let this book out? I
Huh.
said, no, this is not for outside world. This is only for my two children. One is for Arno, one is for Vian.
Hmm.
Then he said, no, this book is wonderfully good.
Hmm.
Let it go out.
Hmm.
I said, I am not into personality cult, that people should follow me, people should like me, and all that. He said, don't do that. Let this book go out. Then he said, I don't want to put my name on the book. He said, don't
Okay.
put it. But then I said, a author's name should be there on the book.
Hmm.
And then he said, don't forget, back in those days, there was something called kalam naam, pen
Kalam.
name, kalam
Okay.
naam, pen name.
Acha.
So
Huh.
authors never used to reveal their name. They used to just choose a name.
Yes.
So I said, this seems to be a good option. Let me
Hmm.
think about it. And then I felt, if I would have washed away, if I would have been washed away in pandemic,
Hmm.
I would have been the Mr. Someone for the rest of world.
Hmm.
I chose, yeah, let me be the Mr. Someone, because the book's purpose was that let me show children that there is a teacher in every element around us.
Hmm.
And when pandemic kind of things happen, and if you lose your entire support, which is parents, mother, father, or siblings, or anyone, and
Hmm.
you're all alone. You're not all alone. God is there with you.
Yeah.
He has all these elements around us to teach something.
Hmm.
And butterfly is a very big example, right?
Right.
The way it transforms itself from the original state to a butterfly. So I thought, let me do it. And I tried stamping the name by Mr. Someone, and the professor laughed at me, saying that you chose a wonderful name. But I had a purpose for it, right? It was not just
Hmm.
blindly choosing the name. And
So does it
fortunately,
now as well it resonates with you, or do you think that you should have kept your name after?
it resonates
Okay.
completely. I still feel
Okay.
that Mr. Someone is appropriate for that because that book has started transforming itself into a multi-biography of families.
Hmm.
Because the
Hmm.
book has 101 success words, Shaluji.
Okay.
So the child in Delhi, what the child did is, say consistency is a word, story. Story
Hmm.
ends with 3, 4, 5, 6 success words,
Hmm.
30 stories, right? So 101 words accumulate kiye humne.
Okay.
The child started asking mother, Mama, can you tell me a story of your life on
Hmm.
consistency? The
Hmm.
child made a note of it. Then the child went to father saying that dad आपके नाम पे आपके आपके लाइफ में एक स्टोरी बताओ persistence पे.
Hmm.
Grandpa grandma सबके पास गए and within no time
Hmm.
101 stories, but chapter wise, mother की एक chapter, father की एक chapter, grandmother की, grandfather की,
Hmm.
paternal maternal uncle, and it became a multi biography. If
Okay.
at all I would have put my name on that, how can it become a multi-biography? Right. So I thought that God had a plan in his mind, and because of which it now became a parent's biography. So it's not my book. It is
Hmm.
parents' book to a child because tomorrow when the parents are not around and when the child is struggling, just
Hmm.
imagine if the child opens any page of the book, he
Hmm.
will recall the memories spent with the parent.
Yeah.
And the book has some small text box kind of element over there wherein we've asked children to write quotation based on parents' story.
Okay.
Imagine the child creates a quotation and that builds observation.
Hmm.
And see, someone came out with 15 benefits of the book.
Wow.
I
Okay.
was like, my goodness. So is it to the scale that I did not even notice that some imagine now child writes a quotation, then
Hmm.
child is spending time with mother, father to understand their
Hmm.
stories. The
Right.
stories are kind of motivating the child. It is
Hmm.
bringing parents and family together to kind of share stories, and
Hmm.
then the child has to listen the story and then write the story, right?
Yeah.
So, see, so many things, right? It brings in patience, motivation, courage, seeing a real hero at home.
Hmm.
Celebrities are celebrities, they are actors.
Right.
But heroes are the real ones who stay with you. Doesn't matter, lion comes right in front of you, right?
Yep. Yep.
So that's about the book.
So
And
heroes in your family, basically, right?
heroes in your family, exactly. Every family has a hero,
Yes.
right? And can we deny the fact that if a lion is coming and pounding onto the child,
Hmm.
and mother sees it and she will stand aside saying that मेरे बेटे पे शेर जा रहा है जाने दो. Will she keep quiet? No.
No.
She'll stand right in front of the lion saying that don't you dare. बच्ची को बोलेंगे बेटा तू भाग.
True. True.
Right. So
Yep.
real heroes are there.
Hmm. True.
And we
And
and
yeah.
yeah, go ahead, go
Sorry.
ahead.
No, I was just asking if you can tell the audience what age of those children those should read this book. What is the recommended age?
See again, recommended age can be anything, Shaluji, because my son, the younger one, is 9 years.
Hmm.
He read the entire book.
Okay.
And he comes back to me saying that, Dad, I like this story.
Hmm.
Dad, I like this story. I said, play it back to me saying that what is that you have learned from this?
Hmm.
And he played it back to me.
Okay.
And it can resonate with graduates as well who have never got a chance to spend time with parents, right?
Hmm.
Because there is a different time period at which a person realizes, right? I got a realization in my graduation.
Hmm. Right.
Someone is realized at very young age.
Hmm.
Right? So it all depends. Saying that, see, if someone is in 30s, has never spent time with parents and has gone through a realization during pandemic, they
Hmm.
would really want to have that courage in them to face any challenge through stories. And right, stories are the most powerful things. I live on my grandparents' stories
Hmm.
because
Okay.
the stories that they narrated to me instill have instilled immense amount of courage in me. Immense amount. I say that if they have gone through that, I share their DNA. So I have something in me, right?
Right,
तो
right.
वहां पर वो दिलासा आता है कि यार यार they have done that, we can
Yes.
also do it.
Stories actually helps us in learning so many things, right? I still tell the stories that were told to me by my father, by my grandmother to my kid. I do that. So she
Exactly.
feels like, acha, she is very interesting. I mean, interested in those things. And she asks so many questions about those stories. And many a times I don't have the answers. So I have to
Totally agree.
call my parents. What was its story about? Tell me the complete stuff. Because with age, we usually miss few things from those, right? Yeah.
That's what real life is. Real life heroes have so many stories to say. Those are
Mm.
like unsung heroes, I would say.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
every house has some of the other unsung heroes.
True,
And
true.
this book is actually trying to do that, saying that every house has a hero. And if
Mm.
someone tries to explore their hero side,
Mm.
there is plethora. I would say there's humongous stories to kind of be shared across. So
Yes.
intent, I think that was not our intent, but God's plan. We became part of God's plan. A selfish deed now became, yeah, to be honest, वो selfish deed ही था कि I have to share my stories to my children, that
Mm.
if they have no one to look up to, they can at least look up to their father. But
Right.
God had different plans.
Mm. Right.
And see,
All
God's
right.
God's intervention होता है पता है शालू जी, because when I was kind of trying to create that book, I'm saying
Mm.
spiral binding में what happened? I had one side page printed,
Mm.
okay, and it was like A4 page, big one. So
Okay.
one side. But again, when you want to print it as a book, right?
Mm.
The book is very small. So
Mm.
A4 को अगर if it will be folded into half, that is the size.
Yeah.
And when I tried approaching one of the printers saying that I want two copies to be printed for my
Mm.
children, he said
Mm.
10,000 rupees. I
Okay.
said, two copies, 10,000 rupees. Why? He said, you get 100 copies printed, 10,000. You get two copies printed, 10,000. I said, why
Okay.
is it so? He said, there's a lot of effort that needs to go into the designing of the page, okay, arranging the pages and all that. I said,
Okay.
मैं techie बंदा हूँ. Why
Mm.
should I spend 10,000?
Ah.
But I think that greed of saving that money helped me to realize another thing, very powerful thing.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened over there is I was trying to print it at my home. मैंने
Okay.
कोई online tool use किया, I tried beautifying the pages and everything. But
Mm.
again, whenever I was printing it, right, because
Mm.
all my pages, 172 pages were like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the screen. And if at all I print that, it will come as 1, 2, 3,
Ah.
4. But when I fold it, it will be 4 over, 1 over here, 4
Yeah.
over here, 1 over here, 2 over here, 3 over here. The
Yes.
4 page will be here.
Ah.
For literally 2 months, I was searching everywhere,
Mm.
saying that how do I arrange pages? How do I arrange pages?
Mm.
And either it was a paid software wherein again it is coming to 10,000 rupees. But
Mm.
then I thought I was chanting saying that how do I solve this problem? But then I parked it aside. I'm
Mm.
not able to solve this. Let me think about it later on. I tried working on the copyrights and everything. I applied it.
Mm.
And one fine night, it was miraculous, I would say. I think that is the delta state of the mind, or you call it the theta state of the mind, wherein I was in deep sleep, literally
Okay.
deep sleep,
Mm.
somewhere around at 3 o'clock in the early morning. Deep sleep, man. I was like in proper
Mm.
deep sleep. Somewhere here it was saying 2341, 2341, 2341. And slowly it started getting visualization. I was getting clarity in my visualization saying that 2341, 2341, something is uttering over here.
Mm.
At 3:25, I woke up and
Mm.
then I was visualizing it, saying that 2341 workout karega ke nahi.
Mm.
And I can say that no idiot would kind of get up at 3:30 and text a message to himself. है कि
Okay.
नहीं? So I said 2341, 2341, front back printing. That's it.
Okay.
And early morning I got up. I told my wife saying that something was ringing over here or someone was uttering 2341 over here. Maybe let me try. And she said, "You're gone crazy. Spend the 10,000 rupees, you at least you'll get the book done." I said,
Huh.
नहीं मुझे कोशिश करना है. Can I do it or not?
Mm.
Early morning I got up,
Mm.
took 4 pages, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1.
Ah.
I printed 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. It comes as 2, 3. And then turned the page and it is 4, 1. I printed when I folded it. I thought
Now sorted.
it is God's intervention over here that He wants this book to happen. I did not do it. And since then I said, ये मेरी करतूत है ही नहीं. This is not my deed at all. This is God's deed. He has chosen me. Let me be on the right track. So since then, that's the story of the book.
Okay, nice.
Very emotional, Shalaji, because the day when that late night thing, early morning thing happened, right? That took me to a complete different zone, saying that, nay, this is not Aman who thought about it.
It was Brahma Muhurat, right?
Brahma Muhurat, and I think the theta or the delta side of the brain got activated, and because I was thinking about it continuously, the brain, subconscious brain took the task on itself. It figured out the solution and pumped it back to me, saying that here is the solution, buddy, take it.
Yes.
So we need to be very
It
cautious.
is,
Very
only
cautious.
because you were thinking about the solution, right? You did not leave it.
No, I was thinking about the problem only. How do I? I was not even thinking about the solution, because every time I think about the solution, it was aggravating my headache. Then I thought, no, this is something beyond me. I'm not able to think about it. But small problem. At times it becomes very big because we handle lot many things in our life. So who I live, but subconscious mind took the responsibility of it, because it was God's job.
Yes. The book has actually really come out very beautifully, and the reviews that we are seeing, right? You have given it to many prestigious people as well. They have also appreciated it, right? Yes. So is there any plan to get it live on the Amazon or somewhere like that?
See, again, Amazon has its own challenges because the copyrights is in my name. The process is that it should be by someone, it should be a publisher who should be doing it.
Okay.
So there's a challenge. I'm not able to post it over there. So I thought, let it be, because it might be again God's plan. If at all it's on Amazon, they'll say that, अरे यार, you आपने Amazon पे डाला हुआ publicity किया, Amazon ने कुछ किया. It's fine, I think. Let it go through.
Right. Okay. So as we are live, let me just do a quick reset. Those who are watching us, let me see. I think there are a couple of people who have joined us. So if you have any questions related to the metaphors for my success book, or any questions to Aman, please ask us in the chat. We'll be able to help you those with that. And so we are speaking with Aman Kumar Annam, who is an author, who is a self-realization speaker, and the co-founder of the Bragging Club. Now, what about the Bragging Club? How did this came into picture? And who are the founders? Other founders, yes.
See, at times now, I say that we plan a lot. I would say that I was telling my wife, saying that at times we plan 99%, and that 1% is what makes a matter to reach 100%. And that's where the second 100 starts, right? So my elder son was actually swimming in a swimming pool. It's an Olympic size swimming pool. So he was practicing over there. And every time I used to see him, I used to say that, beta, you're swimming wonderfully well, beta, like a professional. And whatever the coach is telling you, you are doing it exactly, precisely to his expectation. And my son, elder one, is a little mentally matured. वो थोड़ा शांत रहता है वो. Like his mother, he is very mentally mature, and he was thinking, अरे dad मुझे थोड़ा boost up कर रहे हैं. अच्छा. थोड़ा boost up कर रहे हैं, and ताकि I can come to the swimming pool every day and continue my swimming. He did not say that, but after 1 week or 10 days, I think, 1 week or 10 days, I don't remember the duration. My friend, very close friend of mine, he also came along to the swimming pool, and he saw my son swimming, and we both were not standing together. Me and my friend were not standing together. I was there, and then I just went to the coach. And at that time, my friend came along with his daughter. Okay. He saw Arnav swimming, and he uttered exactly the same words. Okay. Almost the same words, saying that, beta, you're swimming wonderfully well. You are doing it like a professional, and it seems you're following whatever the coach is telling you. to the level of expectation. And if anyone has understood my words, it was the same wording style. The message was same. Then my son came to me saying that, Dad, you said the same words, and uncle said the same words, but for uncle's words, I got goosebumps.
Okay.
Why is that? And he remembers very well whatever the words are said. And he said, Dad, you said the similar words, and uncle said the similar words, similar flow. But for your words, I was like taking it easy. But for uncle's words, I got goosebumps. I said, Beta, this is called bragging. बड़ा चढ़ा के बोलना. And हम लोग आपके बारे में बड़ा चढ़ा के नहीं बोल रहे थे. We were not bragging about you. I was genuinely appreciating you. And if at all I criticize openly. बेटा ये गलत कर रहे हो आप. Then he said, बेटा, Dad, for some reason that bragging worked on me. I felt really pumped up. And then I felt wonderful, beta. Then he said, Dad, shouldn't we start something called the bragging club, wherein we'll appreciate all the other children, and I'll find good friends who can come along with me to swimming pool. And see, the child did not say it intentionally. No plans, right? No plans. It was just divine intervention. कि बेटा ये बोल दे तू, तेरे dad आगे लेके जाएंगे. And from there, I think we started kind of what did we start? We started saying that on Thursdays we'll give one certificate to a wonderful child who has a unique skill.
Okay.
And we started with a child who was peacemaker. Yes, peacemaker certificate, first wala.
Okay.
Wherein he would intervene जहाँ पर भी झगड़ा हो रहा है बच्चों में, he would intervene and he would resolve that issue and say, चलो चलो चलो, we are all together. And that is where we picked up saying that what else we should do, what else we should do.
So these are the conscious efforts you made, right? You were conscious about his words, his thoughts.
नहीं,
That he said, okay, he should start.
Conscious नहीं, Shalu ji, conscious नहीं, because it's all now when I look back, right, it was all kind of say subconscious choices या बच्चों के लिए करो, right? And slowly it started taking us into very serious directions. Okay. Very kind of humbleness आ गया हमें, right? And since the time the bragging club has been started, my children did not turn on TV even for 1 second.
Is
Will you
it?
believe that? It has been 9th month. April 16th is when we turned off the TV, and till date we have not turned on the TV even for 1 second. Okay. And that gave us a lot of time to talk, to ideate, right? What can we do? And because children are not watching TV, they're coming with new ideas, saying that, Dad, can we do this? Can we do that? And their ideas, my ideas, we keep sharing.
This is interesting. What about your younger one? I mean, how did he got convinced कि TV नहीं देखना है? Because yeah, most of the parents have this complaint, right? They cannot convince the kids especially for the TV.
Junior is a blessing for us. Junior is a blessing for us. Uski to story अलग ही है. He was born in 2016, and then we moved abroad for our employment related travel. We had to go to Oman, Muscat. He's born in May 2016. When he came over there, it was August 25th, which changed our life completely. August 25th was Vinayaka Chavithi, Ganesha Chaturthi. Okay. I think it was God's destiny or God's plan that incident should happen on that date. Imagine on Ganesh Chaturthi, even in Oman, we had a holiday. I was at home. My wife was feeding the junior. He was on mother's milk, so she was feeding him. And suddenly she notices that this guy is turning black. His eyes have rolled inside, and he's not moving at all. His mouth was stuck. Okay. And then she started screaming, saying that, look at him, the younger one, something is wrong with this guy. And when I saw him, my wife fainted because of that incident. She fainted. I said, Madam, just hold on your breath for 2 minutes. I need to take care of this guy. When I was taking him, there was no movement. His mouth was stuck. His eyes completely rolled. The black balls completely rolled. I was only able to see the white one. And his hand started rolling back. Oh, okay. And when I saw him, he turned black. And all I could think at that moment is, how do I take this dead body to India? That was going on in my mind. But we were not allowed to put God's pictures over there in that country. But I used to pray at a wall.
Hmm.
Agarbatti thi.
Hmm.
I used to pray at a specific spot saying that here is my God and I will pray him. And
Okay.
what I अब बोलो subconsciously बोलो okay, unconsciously or subconsciously what happened is I was holding that body of a
Hmm.
child
Hmm.
whose pulse is not beating, there's no
Hmm.
breath, there's no heartbeat.
Hmm.
For some reason, God made me think that don't think that he's dead, just keep attempting. And
Hmm.
I did something without my knowledge that I just tried touching the wall. I was, my back was touching the wall and I was
Hmm.
hitting him in the back,
Okay.
hitting, literally banging him on the back.
Hmm.
And then suddenly I saw that there's no movement at all. For
Hmm.
some reason, I felt, let me try one more option. And
Hmm.
वो मैंने सोच के नहीं किया. I was holding his head on my thigh. His entire body was
Hmm.
kind of let down. His only head part was on my thigh. I opened it. I tried blowing air into his mouth. And that's when he said, ऐसे आके ना जान आ गई मरे, like in a dead body there
Ah.
was a
Right.
life.
Hmm.
After that incident, right, for a month, that child who is just few months baby, who he would stare at us as a stranger. He would
Okay.
stare at my wife as if she's a stranger. And he
Hmm.
would continuously look saying that this is a place that I don't know.
Hmm.
And हमें लगा कि a old soul, previous soul was taken away.
Hmm.
And on Vinayaka Chauthi, there was a new soul given to this body.
Okay.
And after that, the child, I get goosebumps when I think about VR. Can you imagine a child at 13 months or 14 months doing a prank on his mother,
Okay.
right? Saying that he would come to his mother and he would say, अगर मैं आपको फूकूंगा आप उड़ के दीवार पे चिपक जाओगे.
अच्छा.
So, and since that day, I think he showed some attributes that are absolutely not normal.
Hmm. Hmm.
And it was in one of the swimming pools wherein I'll come back to the point that how are we able to manage him to stay away from TV?
Hmm.
That's very important. This link is very important.
Hmm.
In a swimming pool where Arno was practicing his swimming,
Hmm.
this guy was naughty. The junior one, every parent will agree saying that juniors are always naughty. And
Hmm.
we should allow them because they carve out a different path to our entire family.
Hmm.
And this guy jumped into the pool. He was practicing. I think it was the 10th day. Yeah, 1 week या 10th day में ही इसको थोड़ा swimming आ गया.
Hmm.
बच्चे हैं ना छोटे बच्चे. He did some backflips.
Hmm.
He was doing some backflips. I was talking to a friend and I just noticed saying that this guy is doing something. Let me ask him. I
Hmm.
asked him saying that, beta, can you do that once again? He
Hmm.
got scared because I'm a strict father. I agree saying that I'm a very strict father. Freedom,
Okay.
freedom होता है.
Ah.
Strict होता है, balance होता है. So
Hmm.
I said, beta, can you do that again? He said,
Hmm.
Dad, नहीं, I'm sorry. I'll just follow the coach's instruction. मैंने कहा, beta, please और एक बार करो. Do it once again. He
Hmm.
said, no, the coach will shout at me and all that. I said, I'll talk to the coach, please do it.
Hmm.
Then he said, how many? I said, how many can you do?
Hmm.
He started doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He said, but can you do more? He
Hmm.
said, I think I can do. Then I called the coach saying that, coach, can you have a look at this guy? Then he said,
Hmm.
dad, please don't complain मत करना coach को आप. मैंने कहा कि बेटा coach को देखने तो दो.
Hmm.
Naveen ji came and he looked at him and he said, beta, can you do in the center of the pool?
Hmm.
There were like 100 plus children, more than 120, because summer camp में तो बहुत सारे आते हैं बच्चे, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
120 children. He announces saying that everyone come outside the pool and sit on the fence. It's a
Hmm.
border.
Hmm.
And the coach said, if anyone can do whatever this guy is doing, I'll give 1 year free subscription,
Hmm.
18,000.
Hmm.
I said, coach, you exaggerating. उसने
Hmm.
कहा कि नहीं, उनको करने दो पहले. Then
Hmm.
Vian was asked to take the center of the pool and he just went on doing it.
Hmm. Hmm.
And then the coach said, can anyone replicate this? Copy him.
Hmm.
And I think it was unique to him. The coach said, I'm sure, sir, nahi kar payenge koi. Very difficult. But
Hmm.
if someone would have done it, I would have formed a acrobatic team
Hmm.
and we would have gone to district and state level, national levels. But
Okay.
unfortunately, we couldn't find. But
Hmm.
let him continue that.
Hmm.
And eventually, what happened is we said, beta, let's find a community wherein there is a swimming pool so that you continue your practice.
Okay.
And for that little idiot, I had to kind of find a community wherein there is a good swimming pool.
Okay.
And every morning we would go at 5:30 or 6 o'clock. I'll say that, beta, keep doing it, keep doing it. And everyone started taking a note of it, saying that this guy is doing something different. And one kind, humble person in that community said, your son is doing something special. Why don't you submit it as a Guinness record or Limca Book of Records? I said, कोशिश करते हैं,
हाँ.
अगर होगा तो देखते हैं. मैंने कहा कि बेटा कितने कर पाओगे? He went on to, like, first started with 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, then 50, 100 कर दिया उसने, 130 किया उसने. Then he went on to 200, 250, 300, 350, 400, 450, 500.
Wow.
I was like, this guy is unstoppable. But that triggered in him saying that I like swimming and I should start practicing this. And we submitted his record. We asked him actually, saying that, beta, let's submit it for record. Guinness said, when we submitted it to Guinness, Guinness said, the child is very young. We can accept a physical feat only at 13 years.
Okay.
That pushed us down to Limca Book of Records. Limca also said the same thing, that 13 years is minimum. Beyond that, lesser than we cannot accept a physical feat. Then we approached India Book of Records. They said we'll accept. I asked I'm saying that, beta, imagine a 7 years old child. Back 2 years back, he was 7 years. And I asked him, saying that, beta, tell me, at what number we should submit your record for India Book of Records? He said, Dad, let's submit at 130. I said, you can do 500, right, beta? 501 is your last one. Why for a lesser number? He said, considering the records, I showed him few records created, few records broken. He says, 7 years old guy thinking, and I roll it back to his death and new soul coming into it. He said, Dad, if someone breaks my 130 and makes 150, I'll go to 200.
Okay.
If 200 is broken, I'll go to 250. But when I reach 500, I don't think that everyone will be able to do it. I'll break and I can go beyond 500 also. So imagine.
We can think from that level, right? To encourage others that others should also try this.
And he was not taking it negatively. I should stay on the top. But he said, let me challenge, let me be challenged. And he's such a unique guy that my father passed away. And I said, Dad, my father passed away because he had fallen and he had a hip joint fracture. Because of that surgery, it did not go as expected, infection, and then he passed away. I said, if you as a child, you saw that problem, what is that you can do? He created a waist belt for senior citizens that if they wear it around them, there will be small poles. Even if they fall into any angle, that belt will stop them because the poles will protrude outside because they're dangling. But when the person is falling, right, the pole will project outside and it will not allow that person to fall onto the floor. At some point in time, it will stop. And his principal madam saw and she said, you should go to T-Works and demonstrate it. I said, beta, we'll go to T-Works. We went to T-Works. I said, it is your creation. I just helped you to roll those poles of cardboard. You have to demonstrate it. Even before we went over there, we said, we have the waist belt ready. The poles are ready. It is working. But we need a mannequin. In no time, the moment I asked him, he said, Dad, I'll create it. He went into the room wherein we had a small storeroom. He pulled out cardboards. We used to store cardboards a lot because of cutting. Kuch karenge wo. He pulled out a cardboard and literally in no time, in 5 minutes or 6 minutes, he created a human-like shape.
Okay.
Human-like shape, big one, like almost 2.5 feet wala cardboard. And I said, beta, iska pair agar hota na, it would have been a real standing human. We attached cardboard as legs. Then I said, beta, it is not standing. What do we do? He attached a thick cardboard at a right place because of which the cardboard mannequin was standing.
Okay.
And then he tried inserting it as a waist belt around the cardboard mannequin. And we pushed the mannequin. It was not falling at all.
Wow.
I said, let's take it to T-Works because your principal madam suggested.
हाँ.
But again, I told him saying that, beta, over there, you will face the interview. I will not help you because it is your creation. You have an answer. You have to answer. He said, Dad, I'll do it. And the CEO of T-Works, Rajgopalanji, he interviewed the junior, and I was just folding my hands, and I was standing saying that, beta, you answer. And I could see the spark in the CEO's eyes that this child is exceptionally good. And we will open up the doors for T-Works so he can come and do his creation over here.
Okay.
And see, swimming record, then T-Works thing, and the community service that we're doing. This kind of is actually helping my child as well to understand that there is value outside than in TV. And that's why they're okay with it. They're okay. They stop. At times, the junior asks, what I do is I say that if I turn on the TV, it is endless, you know, right? OTTs, DTTs, YouTube, ये वो सब कुछ चलते रहता है वो. I say that let's watch a movie. 2.5 hours done. Let's watch a movie. You choose a movie. I'll not even barge into your area that you choose a movie. I'll quietly watch that movie. I give them that experience, and then on weekends or sometime in a month, I say that let's go to theater to watch a movie. Again, there's a close ended, no? 2.5 hours, 3 hours, and the movie is done.
Yeah.
They have that entertainment, but again, now I tried encouraging them, saying that there is entertainment elsewhere also. Why don't you explore those areas? So I say that dad does not have money, beta. So I'll buy you skates, but again, you will have to learn by yourself. I'll buy you a wave board, but you have to learn by yourself. I'll buy you a badminton racket, but I can't afford training, beta. I can afford, but again, because of which what happened is brothers started training each other.
Okay.
And there are instances wherein the junior is teaching the senior.
Okay.
Anna, flips ऐसे करो, back flips ऐसे करो. And the elder one has his own record of longest distance underwater single breath.
Wow.
The junior motivated the elder, saying that Anna, I have a record. Why shouldn't you have a record? And the senior took it seriously, saying that my brother has a younger one has a record. I should also have a record. So the senior also did it. That's
inspiring each other.
Yeah, inspiring each other. Yeah, challenging each other, competing, complementing each other.
Wow.
And yeah, so my wife is also. I thank God saying that I've got a very very understanding wife. And imagine, right, a female staying away from TV, and she is the one. Actually, we did not buy a TV for 10 years.
Okay.
In 2010, she said, "I don't want a TV. We'll go around." We were in US, and that's when we stopped using TV. And it was only in year 2020, during pandemic, that we moved to our hometown. In the same community, I had my schoolmates. So my children would run into their house, and they would kind of snatch the remote, and they would watch over there. मैंने कहा कि this is not right. So I said, अरे भाई बाहर चलते थोड़ा देखते हैं. We immediately, in like half an hour, 45 minutes, we bought a TV, came back home, but I did not have a dish connection. Okay. I said, अगर देखना है तो YouTube पे ही देख लो, internet TV है.
Right.
Because I was trying to limit them, but again, there's no limit. I give them the fun part as well.
That's good.
And we love travel. We love travel, and that too, I would say that हमारे एकदम unplanned travels होते हैं, unplanned, literally.
Yeah, I heard that other day. Yes. I can't even imagine doing that.
But again, kids learn saying that how to stay agile, say on the toes. Half an hour, may I say that, beta, in half an hour, I want you to start. Can we plan a travel? Everyone rushes at home to grab their clothes. I say that now it is 5:30. By 6 o'clock, we have to start. My wife would run around, my children would run around, whatever they can grab it, put it into a bag. We get into car, and we drove like 2,000 kilometers distance, go out for 5 days and come back completely unplanned. We don't even know which will be our next place to stay. And
full adventure. Fun.
Adventure, it was like eye-opening part for children as well, saying that how to handle uncertainties. I get goosebumps when I think about our travels, because I would ask my children saying that, beta, next 100 kilometers I can drive. Can you please search a place where you can stay? And then they would go keep looking around the place, and they'll say that let's search on online if there's a nice place. They would decide a place, and we will randomly land in a place. We'll go inside the place. Is it really conducive, nice, pleasant? Is it harmonious? Is it connecting to our soul? And अगर हो गया connect वहाँ पर, then we stay over. And I told my children saying that someday, if need arises, we sleep in the car as well.
That's nice. Preparing them for everything, right?
Everything. They're soldiers. I raise them like soldiers. That's it.
So they are the founders of the bragging club.
Yes, I'm the guy. Oh, sponsor bolo.
Okay.
You sponsor या तो kind of hand holding
Okay.
guys. They are the founders.
Okay. So what are the activities you guys do as part of the bragging club?
See, what we started doing is first is based on my book. We started doing self-realization sessions. So that resonated very well because, anyways, I have got used to not carrying my name. I go to sessions and I don't kind of self-promote over there. I directly jump onto content. And because I've written stories, I'm used to kind of storytelling. Even before I go to the schools, I ask them saying that let the children pour out whatever their problems are. So we ask them to put a box. No one should see. The child will just write on a piece of paper, no names, nothing. They'll just drop it in the box, and the school's job is to kind of collect all that, consolidate, summarize, and only pick out unique problems.
Okay.
Then I build my own content on that, some stories, some examples, and all that, and we go and do it. So that is one part wherein I do a self-realization talks only on Saturdays, mostly, because that's my week off.
Okay.
So by God's grace, initially people saw that. Do you have presence on social media? Do you have a Facebook account? Do you have Insta wherein we can see your past work? I said I don't. I'm away from social media because that bothers me. People, I don't demean others, but again, I don't feel comfortable because it consumes me a lot into it. So I said, let me stay away from it and let me focus on whatever content or anything that's important. People started validating us based on our social media presence. They said, you don't have a YouTube channel, you don't have Insta, you're not a WhatsApp channel, you don't have a website and all that. I said, but again, here are the printed pictures. Here is the handwritten feedback from students. Then they said, okay, fine, we'll look into it. Please come back again. I said, okay, fine, thank you. You heard me for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, thank you. But then once I think I had some 2 hours of free time on a Saturday. I told my wife saying that can we go to any of the nearest schools and let's do a session. We have a bag packed with projector, mic, the collar mic and everything, so that if the school does not have a projector, we use our projector. Mic नहीं है तो हम अपना mic use करते हैं. Only thing we ask them is a speaker. Okay. And on that day, we landed into a school which is very near to our house, and we know that that person, the principal madam, is very humble, kind-hearted. She kind of heard me, and I deeply respect her because she was able to read through me. She was able to read through me. She was able to read into my emotions, and she said, "Can you do the session now?" I said, "Yes, madam, I can do it." But we don't have a projector. I said, I have a projector. She said, did you come prepared for projector? I said, I keep it in my car because you never know where it might be needed. We went into the room and in no time, I would say, she said, can you do it now? She tested us on that. Are we prepared? But then I said, is it possible that you can bring in children and their parents as well for the session? Then she said, give me 2 days time. I'll have that arranged. Okay. On that day, we had parents and children, like close to 300 or 200 plus children and 50 to 60 parents. Okay. And usually what happens is with that madam, she comes in the initial 5 minutes of the session. She would do the felicitation part of it, give a bouquet or something, and 5 minutes she'll just set the stage and she will leave. Okay. But on that day, for some reason, I think she stayed over there for 5 minutes, and I have that habit of not doing my intro. Okay. In 5 minutes, I jumped directly onto the content. And that latched onto her saying that this content is different. And I finished off the session. After the session, few of the mothers came to me and they started touching my feet. I said, please, no, and please don't do that. I emotionally, for betterment of the nation, to have good children, I gave my session, don't do that. But they said, this is unbelievable content that you have given. I said, thank you very much. My heart and my soul was talking over here. After that session, I heard from one of the teacher that this is only session wherein our director madam sat for 2.5 hours. She would
Okay.
not sit for more than 5 minutes. I'm getting goosebumps if you can see. Uh, then I said, okay. We did the session and we were about to, we just went to our office meeting room and we said, thank you, madam. And even before she could turn back, we left that venue.
Okay.
We left our office room. We just thanked and me and my wife were leaving and we were just loading our car. The Aya, there's an assistant over there. She came running saying that principal madam is, director madam is calling you. I was worried saying that did I say something wrong in this? My mind was thinking that maybe a feedback. Let me take it positively. Okay, anything that needs to be improved, we'll do it. We went into the room and then she said, your session was mind blowing. I said, thank you, madam, but I gave criticism. What is that I need to change? I said, I couldn't really think of any element that I can criticize. And she turned back to the cupboard. I thought, yeah, she might need to pull out some stationery or something. And she came back with a bundle of 500 rupees notes.
Okay.
And she was trying to offer it to me, saying that here is your fees. I said, madam, I had 2 hours of free time today. For children, I did it, but not for money. It does not mean that I don't want money, but again, not from this source. That I do it something out to satisfy my own emotions. Okay. And from that, I'm making money. That was not, my heart was not allowing me that.
Okay.
My wife was saying that you're rejecting almost 25,000. I said, मेरा मन allow नहीं कर रहा था लेने. I said, thank you, madam, for offering money. But the day I need, I'll come back to you. But it's been 2 years. I call her saying that Madam Ji, aap kaise ho and all that, but I never kind of ask money because God is kind of anyways helping me in that way. And that session actually changed a lot because that humble lady, she sent me to another school. From there, she connected me to a school in Hyderabad, wherein there was a very, very genuine problem that one of the director raised, saying that here is a group of children, girl children, 300. There's a very sensitive issue. Can you address it? I don't want to raise that issue over here, but again, the principal madam was against. How can a male come and talk to girl children that he's young? He looks young and not a senior citizen. How can he come and talk? But again, because of the director madam's push, that I trust, because of the feedback that I got from that madam, I trust that this guy can do it, and let's see. We went over there, we did the session, and after the session, the 300 girl children were standing right in front of principal madam's room. Imagine the situation. 300 girl children were standing right in front of principal madam's room, and principal madam was saying that I told you, Aman, not to do it. See, there's so many children. I'm sure they had some concern, or else they will have never come in front of my office room like this. I said, madam, I request you, hear them out once. What is that they want to say? And they, in one single voice, they said, this is one of the sessions that has opened our eyes, a session like never before. And I don't think that we will be able to attend this kind of session ever after. And even before the principal madam could turn towards us, we just vanished from there. Hello? Shaluji, you there?